This episode of Late Night with Ed Money is brought to you in part by Ziggy's Pub and Restaurant, located in downtown Amherst. And if you're local to them, dial for carryout at 440-985-FOOD. Or go to their website, which is ziggyspubandrestaurant.com. If it's a sporting event that you want to see, don't forget your sunglasses, because they have so many 4K TVs it'll burn your retinas. So go to Ziggy's Pub and Restaurant in downtown Amherst.
We hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
I'll make it go away. Oh, my bad. You gotta start that over.
Of despair.
Warning, what you're about to hear is an adult show. You'll hear anecdotal stories and humorous situations meant for adults. In essence, kids, don't listen or try this at home. Everything you're about to hear is done by drunk, trained professionals. Now enjoy the show.
Deep within the pit of despair. Balls of Christ, dude.
This is Agata, and you're listening to the hottest talk show on the net, Late Night with Ed Money, where it's real people, real conversations, real life.
Why, hello.
Hi.
What's up? You had it locked and loaded and threw it. It threw me off on the last show, too. I was totally like flabbergasted. Why, hello, my friends. You're listening to Late Night with Ed Money here on the website, which is latenightwithedmoney.com. Go check out the new site. Don't mind the what do they call it? The dirt.
Our dust, because the construction.
We're
redoing somebody's redoing the whole thing. We're not smart enough.
Getting it all redone. So audience members, you've been listening to us on latenightwithedmoney.com.
There you go.
Where it's real people, real conversations, real life. You're going to listen to myself, Ed Money. Right over here is CPAP Chuck.
What's up?
Did you ever notice I put a graphic in there now?
No.
It says CPAP Chuck. It says local homeless or something like that.
I feel like it today.
Or something like that I always put on there. And I did one for Monk with a little animation of a monk face that came down to his name because he didn't want to be.
Well, people watching will see that. You don't have to describe it. Let's get on. Who else is here?
Last but not least, he's not keeping us in bounds, Chuck, but he's here. What did you come up with now? The new name?
Jeffrey Neutron.
Jeffrey Neutron's what we're going to call him.
Jeffrey Neutron. I got to write that down.
It's a nickname an old boss gave me.
Jeffrey Neutron?
Yeah.
Because he's so smart compared to us. According to Eddie, speaks 15 languages.
Kidding. I wish I thought about.
I do. English,
slang,
Dude,
sarcasm.
You know, it's funny you said that though. I have noticed that there are so many languages that have been incorporated into ours. See, I want to learn. I actually do want to learn 2 foreign languages. Well, 3. One they say you should learn, which is Spanish, because there's so much
Spanish-speaking
people around. So I want to learn more Spanish. And it's funny because I worked with Julio, that one kid, and he is Mexican, but he could barely speak it. But if he was in a room and people were speaking, he can completely, which is weird to me.
Right. No, because he's always around it.
And he can understand it, but for him to speak it,
right,
isn't as much. But I want to learn Spanish. I want to learn Japanese or Korean.
Japanese is tough. I got a friend that speaks Korean. She's been to Korea a couple times. and
Really?
It's really interesting because of the kanji that they use as opposed to letters. And I'm like,
Dude, tell
she's
me
like,
about-
well, this says
it's not
such and such. And I'm
insane?
like, I don't know. And it's like, is this tattoo right? That's all I need to know. Does it say soup? Like, because it's supposed to say
It's
soup.
your dry cleaning bill.
Right. Because it's supposed to say soup. I don't want it if it says love or some shit like that.
What he's not kidding. Is there's this one girl that I follow online, and she teaches Japanese. Now, the reason I want to learn
Are you learning anything from it?
a little bit, the basics. I'm learning
You've known hello.
right, konnichiwa, right? Haumas, stuff like that. There's certain things I'm learning, little things in both Korean and there's two. She's cute as anything. But exactly what he said. They have these kanjis, and here's the funny part.
Before you get going, what's a kanji for everybody out there?
It's their alphabet. They don't use letters. They use brush strokes. And each
Okay,
stroke
so
has
that
a
is
different
what it
sound.
kind of
Here's where it's
So-
crazy.
right.
We use letters, like he said, and you can
Dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
All the way behind.
you put our letters together to spell a word.
Right.
Now it gets confusing for a foreigner when they have, is it homonyms where it's the same word that like bat and bat?
Right.
Okay, that
Or beat and beat, eat.
Yeah.
right. It's
Ed, and Eddie.
Right.
Great cartoon.
It is.
for foreigners, but for them, they use the same kanji, and it can mean 85 different things.
Well, yeah, because it's the
Yeah, that's crazy.
like I said, they have brush strokes that mean a sound. And
Yes.
it's all one symbol.
Yes.
So you kind of got to know how it's set up. And I don't even understand how it works. I just know that
It's crazy.
This symbol means
Hi.
right. Yeah, exactly. So you can look at it and come at it a completely different way.
Look at him. He made himself laugh.
I did.
It's-
It was out of nowhere. It really
good.
was.
No, but he's not kidding. So, but I went way farther back in her thing, and what
Way back in her thing.
in her
Of
his-
course, he did. He liked that picture
Yeah.
from 2001. She's like, block.
in,
We just talked about that, Ed.
in her history.
It's like, oops.
Right, in her
shit.
history. But she described it the way, because she was from Canada or something, the girl so she speaks English. And she was describing the difference between, which I don't know if in Canada they do it, but in America, they have cursive printing, and then, however, there's, when people see cursive, even though you're spelling the same word, to them, even to us, it looks
Do they
different.
have like a cursive
Yes.
style as
Yes.
opposed to a standard
Yes.
printing
Yeah,
style also?
Yes, like they
Right.
say for little kids use one type of kanji,
Right.
and then as they get older, they transfer it into a different kanji, which is just a
It
modification.
has like 7th grade little hearts over
Right.
it, a smiley face.
Little koi fish on the side.
Yeah, so the reason I want to learn, I'm learning this is not a joke. I do want sometime. I always tell people that have talked to me that my life will change. And it sounds it sounds stupid. My life will change when my life changes.
I get it. I know what you're talking about.
Right. That I don't want to say.
When you finally hit the lottery.
Bro, we're running out of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
when my mom leaves
Yeah,
me,
no,
then,
I'm with you.
then life will change for me, and
Yeah.
life will be different. But anyway, so I want to learn. But there's two types. I was watching, there are actual videos on dudes that tell you if you're going to date a Japanese girl, this is what you got to do. If you're going to date a Korean girl, this is So I hunt down.
Yeah, because you have a good chance of dating anybody in your basement.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. But there is a bar down the but there's a bar down the street for me
Oh,
that
God.
we know the owner, and one of the waitresses is Filipino, and she's
Okay.
always
Nice.
like, "Oh, I got a cousin you need to meet." Like, okay, like me and my buddy that go there. She's like, "Oh, we find one for everyone." Sorry about the accent,
Yeah.
but that's what she sounds like.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like she's adorable and hilarious. And
Do her cousins look like her?
yes,
Okay, I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say because they could look like
Dude.
Gila monsters. You never know when you're getting set up on a blind date what
She's-
you're gonna get.
Isn't that yes?
she's
You're looking at me. I'm like, I've been married.
No,
30.
I'm with you. She's Filipino, and I'm not to be like racist or
Right,
anything,
no,
but
yeah.
the mother's daughter's granddaughter. Like, you can't tell the generation. She showed us a
No.
picture from a wedding, and I'm
Yes.
like, who's this? That's my mom. I'm like, bullshit. Like, there's no fucking way
Right.
that woman 2 years older than you next to you is your mom. She's like, oh yeah, and this is her sister. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Right, dude.
Like, where's grandma? Is she the one in the stroller? Like, what the fuck?
And I'll be the guy. Here's the thing that I love. This is why I love.
Great
about-
shirt, by the way, Ed.
Yeah.
You like the crossfade?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know. I dug it out of the closet. I'm wearing
Right.
a lot of the ones that were given to me and stuff
Yeah.
from audience. Check out Crossface. You'll like. it. In
Yeah,
fact,
just look 'em up.
CPAP Chuck is going to be doing a reunion in March
January, March 30th at No Class.
at no class. So we'll put. I'm sure I'll put.
Yeah,
anything-
we'll have the links and everything. when
long
we're-
before. Yeah, let me
Oh,
know.
yeah.
But audience, check that out. Crossface. But the one thing I've noticed about the Asians now, this guy is watching these videos. One is. Koreans are like a cross between the hotness of to me, they're beautiful. Asians are
There we
beautiful.
go.
Oh, no.
They're-
We just got canceled by 15 different countries.
Yeah. You can stop anytime. They're all
Wow.
pretty.
No,
They're all pretty,
They're
Ed.
beautiful. Is that you get the beautifulness of the Asian look, if you like that look, mixed with the American craziness. You know what I mean? Crazy. You know, there's crazy American girls.
Well, there goes the last of our listeners.
Yep. Bye all.
We had a good run.
But they said that the problem if you date this guy said the difference that I watched his video that the Japanese girls have a tendency to cheat on you all the time.
What?
Yes, he said because the men are out working so much that they're home lonely. Yet the Japanese girl, and I'm a sex guy.
So
you're
what
get-
you're saying is, if I go there, I'm the guy they cheat with, and then I can
Yes.
just go home.
Right.
Yeah. Do you know what's even funnier?
In.
The Japanese government. This is for the audience.
Wait,
don't
I thought the girl guy ratio was like.
right there. It is, dude. Go ahead and say it.
Well, I thought there was like way more guys than there was girls in Japan.
It started out that way. It started out that way, and now it's changed. And the Japanese government, which don't take my idea, people out there, is that the Japanese government is now paying people to move to Japan and have babies because their population has
Is
gone
declining?
is declined
And
so
nobody
much.
wants to work.
What are you? Look at him. Just
I got nothing. I just throwing shit in.
It's
You just saw it on a road sign on the way
He
over.
said it.
Yeah,
roadside.
nobody wants to
Throw it
work.
out.
I'm gonna remember that. I gotta use that tonight.
Just like he did on Thanksgiving. Damn kids don't want to work.
Don't
And
want
walk-
to work.
Oh, he said that on the way out the door too. He's like, "Fucking kids, they don't want to work."
They don't
See you
wanna
guys
work.
next week.
It's a fun, but that's so but I do want to learn that, and so I want to learn Japanese or Korean, and then Spanish. You know, because
See.
Latino, dude. I've told them. But
Remember
I'm
we were
fine.
trying to remember the name of the strip bar that was on 254?
Yes.
Glitter.
Oh my God, glitter!
I was
Glitter!
driving to work the other day, and out of nowhere, I'm like, glitter.
Glitter.
See, for the audience on a past couple of shows, we were talking about local strip clubs that opened up, but they started out where they just were like bikinis, right?
And then,
Right.
then,
Look at
then the
look
money
at
wasn't
his
coming
face.
in.
Yeah.
The rules got a little lax.
Bikinis with air quotes.
It was just bikinis.
Oh, they were like, the whole outfit was the size of one of
Yes.
these little balls.
Yeah, dude, here's the funny part is do you remember what was the one is that the one you're saying there was one for us that the audience won't know the place unless you're local, that there was like the gin house or whatever it was, and right
That's
there,
what I'm talking about.
that was glitter. Okay, that was I remember going to that you go in there because 1 in 4,000,000 you'd go, it was so small
It was
that-
like somebody's old house that they literally blocked off the kitchen and you sat in the living room and they put a pole in it.
yes, and this
Swear to God.
yeah, and this is the funny
I'll be upstairs in the bathroom taking a dump.
This is the funny part. It must have been that place to the 1 in 4,000,000 because 1 in 4,000,000 I remember
Fantasyland.
Fantasy, that was small too, but
It was bigger than glitter.
Glitter, I went into, and it was funny because
You
go
literally
in,
had to like move the easy chair.
That's what I was gonna say. Is you'd go in, and they had like a tiny little stage with a one.
It was like one of those little 4-foot across picnic tables with a hole drilled in it and a pole.
Right. I'm having flashbacks. If I zone out, it's because I'm just remembering this place that I've been to like that.
Did
You're
you
like,
go to- yes.
no, it wasn't that one, but it's like you go to sit down and change your mind because it's plush velour, and you're going,
You're like, no.
It was like
Yeah,
Pinkies
right.
on Brook Park.
Yeah, dude. No, Pinky's makes the place I'm thinking about look like it's top tier.
But this is what was
Christ.
funny is you go in there and they had the tiny stage with the pole and the girl would be dancing on it and you're like, okay, can I get like a private dance or whatever they call it? And they go, okay, let's go to the VIP section. And they move 4 feet.
Yeah, and you're sitting on some old guy's lap. It's my dad. He's watching the news.
You still have the recliner.
Yeah,
And the guys.
you have to sit on the recliner foot part.
You can't touch me, but you can touch him all you like. He doesn't mind.
The whole time she's dancing, you're having eye contact with the guy next to you.
He's just side eyeing you, like, you done yet?
I always felt uncomfortable in strip club. Did you ever feel uncomfortable in strip club or no?
No,
Really?
never
God,
felt.
no.
The only one I like I said, felt uncomfortable in was just because it was so sketchy and gross. Was Pinkies.
Yeah.
Really? Did you think
was just gross.
What's the one in O'Leary again?
Bugsy's?
Bugsy's.
No, not Bugsy's.
Brass pole?
Brass pole.
Brass pole.
Brass pole.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not
Did-
Bugsy's Speakeasy, but Brass Pole. I've
Did
never
you
been
ever
to
go
that
to Bugsy's?
one. I've been to Bugsy's.
In Elyria?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was the last time I was in Bugsy's. I was playing in a band, and now mind you, this is years ago,
Right.
And we practiced across the street in a practice spot there, and we're like, let's go to Bugsy's and get a beer after practice. And it was so bad, I gave a girl $1 to get away from me. That is the truth too. I'm like, here, don't come back.
There was a place.
She
in,
had Coke bottle glasses. Like it looked, she smiled. She was missing so many teeth. It looked like her tongue was in jail. It was bad.
There was a place in south of here. I'm not going to say where, but they had like the sign was home of 14 pretty girls and one ugly one. And you go in and you're like, which one's the ugly one?
Yeah.
Because they all are.
She's
just-
the one that had like 5 C-sections.
Oh, yeah,
and 4 nipples. But anyhow, let's get on with this.
I wanted to say real quick that
you don't say anything real quick.
No.
I'm sorry. You know what it is? Yeah, it's funny.
And then I distracted him. Sorry.
And you yell at me for that.
Right. The only one that says that they have a problem with my stories is Bueno Bueno, because here's the thing: for the audience out there, before we had the video, we only had audio, so
Right.
you can hear it like Spotify, iHeart, stuff like that. People will listen, and what it is I had to paint. I had to learn to theater the mind. You had to paint the image. For
I'm going
them.
to tell you, Ed, your theater should be shut down.
What
we all like your stories.
It was like our community theater where the little kids
Right.
learn a play
Right.
over the summer and do it in the fall.
You misunderstand. We don't dislike your stories. We like them, but they go nowhere. You're like, so we were in this basement in this house. Wait, let me go back. This house was built in 1853. Well, you know what? Before that, it was just a bare lot. We're like,
It's
tell
like
us
trying
the,
to read an Anne Rice book.
right. It's like, tell us the fucking story already.
No, do you know what the problem is? This guy
ADHD?
distracts me. Yeah, every time I start going in, he'll chime in, and then it takes my brain in another direction, so I can't finish my thought.
That's what I do.
It's what
Sure
I
is.
do. I wanted to talk about Thanksgiving that we just had for the audience out there. I went to this place, German Villa, and you can buy the full
Full-on meal.
dude.
Yeah.
Listen, my brother when he came over. My younger brother Matt, he's the youngest brother, excuse me, that he goes, dude, this is a great idea. This was
Right.
like the first year that, not that he attended, but this, when you're dating, you go
You know what? Honestly, Thanksgiving is just like this fucking.
right.
It's
Go
just
ahead.
nothing ever comes out
Nothing.
the way it's supposed to on
Nothing.
Thanksgiving.
Nothing.
The turkey's done. The rolls are burnt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
Right.
I made 5 pounds of sweet potato casserole, and I was like the only person that ate it. Like, and it's good too.
Well,
it's like
see-
not that over sweet shit. It's
Yeah,
real
right.
potatoes.
But it's just a clusterfuck
Right.
of a meal.
It is. And not only that, any holiday, see, I don't know if growing up, because I was always dating girls, I started hating holidays because you couldn't go to just one place,
Oh, yeah.
sit down,
yeah, yeah,
eat.
yeah.
You had to go to her family. Then, like, say if her parents are divorced, you had to go to 2 different
All right,
houses.
let me point this out, Ed. You're looking for someone to settle down with again. You're just looking for
You're
the same
jumping back
thing.
in.
Right.
Yeah, your feet first into that
So
shit.
when we have this conversation, I'm like,
Right.
I just need someone to come over and blow me once in a
Right,
while.
I get it, okay.
And you're like, I want a relationship.
Well,
like
that's the
Yeah.
thing.
that goes with it though. Now
Yeah.
you've got 2, and then these women probably have kids.
because of your
That's the
age.
worst.
So you're gonna go
That's the
from one kid's
worst.
house to the next kid's
Or
house.
they're all
Right.
coming over your house.
Oh.
Right.
And you don't want them stealing any of your treasure.
Right? What would you balance that camera on?
Not my cup.
It's
just
what happened to the
typical.
peanut butter? Did you need it?
I did use the peanut butter, so I used
You notice his dog wasn't barking.
Right.
It's like, shut up.
But Thanksgiving, so my brother, he saw it and he says, "Man, this is a really good idea." And for the audience, what it is the place we went for $18. You can get a per person meal, and you can do any time throughout the year. You can buy a ham there, you can buy turkey there, whatever.
That's a good deal too. $18 for a whole meal is like
Really, I mean, really, but it's
A whole plate, not a whole meal. A
But
plate.
still,
It's 18
like,
bucks a
that's-
plate.
right.
well, in the plate comes turkey, mashed potatoes, sweet potato.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
And the
Yeah.
sides, the rolls, right?
Yeah.
And you get the other shit. It's not
So
like
it's 18
right.
bucks a chair.
Right.
So, or you can buy the trays of it, and it's equivalent thereof of enough per person per meal.
Yeah.
But there's always a little extra, which that's the reason we decided to do that. So we did it. The only thing I didn't like, I asked you guys when you make your sweet potatoes, like
I
you
don't make
said,
sweet potatoes. Yeah.
is it you don't like them, or you just
I'm
don't?
not, I don't do sweet potatoes. I'd rather fill my belly with mashed potatoes and everything else. Sweet potatoes are like I could take them or leave them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not saying they're bad or anything. It's just my personal preference. I'd rather
Right.
have mashed potatoes and gravy.
Well, this was the first part that right before it, I went over to Monk's house. All right, and he and I were talking. This freaking animal, he doesn't like turkey. He says turkey's just a bland chicken.
It's true. There's no fat.
You gotta really season a turkey.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah.
But
Yeah.
he said a turkey's a bland chicken.
Yeah,
So-
you gotta season the shit out of it.
And he did this crack it down the center, flatten it out. You saw the photo.
Spatchcocking? I think it's called spatcocking.
I don't know what
Are
it's
you
called.
sex
but I know what
talking?
you're talking about. Yeah.
You're
Yes, I
sex
am.
talking us.
Totally.
But he didn't like turkey. He doesn't like meatloaf, which to me, I love meatloaf. All right. What does it look for?
I'm just listening to you go
Okay.
on about your dumb food.
Well, it's not him. I was talking to Monk. So all the things like he doesn't like sweet potatoes. The only thing I didn't like when we got these sweet potatoes was they whipped them.
There was no marshmallow and caramel on top.
It was all right. Isn't it the best?
No.
That's
That's why I make them, because
What
I
do you
hate the
mean?
over sweet. And most of the time they're yams, not sweet potatoes. They're two completely different vegetables.
I thought it was the same thing. Honest
So,
to God.
so did I.
No,
Wait a
yams.
minute. Wait a
Sweet
minute.
potatoes are more like a potato than a yam. A
it.
yam
Wait a
is
minute.
more like just a root. Well, they're all tubers, but there's
They're not going to taste the same.
they don't. They taste nothing like sweet potatoes.
He and I think.
Well,
Yes,
you guys were
yes.
raised on yams instead of sweet
But
potatoes.
you know what,
so
though?
you
I'll
think-
eat the shit out of a sweet potato pie.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the difference between a sweet potato you can buy like a sweet
Right.
potato,
Right.
and a yam? Does a yam come the exact same way?
You can get them that way, but
Then
mostly
they taste the same.
no, the yams are sweeter.
There you go.
Is that what it is? Because
Yeah.
in the can, I don't think you can
The ones
buy.
You got yams in
Yeah.
your can?
Yeah, the yams in the can are like already sweetened. It's like in
Brown
a-
sugar.
Yeah, and a syrup and stuff. Which when I was growing up, I loved those. I thought they were great. And then I found out what
Yes.
sweet potatoes actually tasted like in a fucking dish, and went, oh.
Wait a
I
minute.
was like, I could have been eating this the whole time.
I've been
Right.
bamboozled.
Yeah, it's like go to the South for a couple years, right, and just eat the stuff they eat, and they look at you like you're crazy because you're like, wait,
Well, they eat grits.
what's okra Coke?
Right. What?
And they're like, okra, kid, it's okra. And you're like, all right, give me some. And you try it, you're like, this is kind of gross. And then they
Yes.
make it like a completely different way. You're like, this is the best fucking thing I've ever
Yeah,
eaten.
I'm
you
not a
have-
fan of okra.
Have
Yeah.
you had it?
I've had it.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've
Oh, I
ever
love
had
okra. I love
Really?
it. Yeah.
Do you?
Is that
Yeah.
a
So-
But it's an acquired taste. It's something that you're just not used to.
So, speaking of Thanksgiving, we're done with your story?
Go ahead. That's fine.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had to
I
go.
wasn't, but that's right.
I had to go get pies. I picked up the pies for
Where did you-
Thanksgiving.
where do you get them, Mama Joe's?
I went to
Stick
Mama
in your-
Joe's.
Do you? There's another. What'd you say?
So did you stick in your thumb?
I pulled out a plum.
No.
But now they have, you have to pre-order your, well,
Yeah. Oh,
you got to
wait.
pre-order your pies or you
Oh.
can chance it and get what you get in the 100-person deep line.
Yes.
So I pre-ordered my pies, paid for it, supposed to be able to walk in and walk out.
Nope.
And this isn't Mama Joe's fault. This, not at all. I get in there, the line is moving. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm going to be in and out. Well, I have Mr. Fossil in front of me. He's 900 years old. He's going to get his pies, and he starts with, I also wanted another pumpkin pie. Can I get a pumpkin pie? And they're like, well, did you pre-order it? This is the pre-order line.
Right there.
No, but I pre-ordered these.
How about no?
And they're like, we don't even know what we have left over there. This is
Right,
two
this-
separate.
Right.
You know, they're like, we don't even know
Right.
what's left over there. That line is 100 people deep, and we don't know. Yeah, but I just want a pumpkin pie. And they're like, sir, you don't understand what we're saying.
Right.
This was so people can get in and get out.
Yes.
Make sure they get what they ordered, and
Yes.
blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I was behind this guy for about 15 minutes. And if he wasn't so old, I would have punched him in the back of the head, but I'm afraid I would have caved his skull in.
See, I'm not that nice. This is why I don't shop anymore. I have Instacart
Well,
do
that's why
because I'm not that patient with idiots. Seriously, I don't give a fuck if you're 400 years old. If you're in front of me in the wrong line, I go, excuse me, go get in line after you pay for your pies. We're trying to get the fuck out of here.
I was nice about it. You know what I
Seriously.
mean? But I'm behind him like, must control fists of death.
Look, I'm the guy at the grocery store that if you've got your cart in the middle, I'm pushing that fucker out of the way. I'm not waiting for you.
Dude, that's a pet peeve of mine.
Oh my god!
Don't walk a mile an hour.
How can you be
on your phone?
How can you be one person blocking an entire 5-foot wide lane? How? If you're doing it, I'm pushing you out of the way, and I'm probably putting your shit back on the shelf just to mess with you.
You
because
guys
your
are
cart's
so
in the middle, and
angry.
you're three. No, we're considerate. These assholes are not.
Yeah, you know what? Slower traffic to the right, brother.
Right.
First of all, you have to understand CPAP has road rage at any point in his life.
Me too.
I was nice about it.
He's better than me.
Wait, is he talking like one of those lines that you can go this way or this way? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's just talking about the aisle in the grocery
Aisle.
store.
Right.
The
When you're-
normal aisle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know where they block the whole fucking thing with their
With
cart?
their cart, because they pull up and turn it sideways across the ways,
The
and then they
aisles
stand
are
in
usually
front of it. Right.
Aisles are usually like 3 carts wide.
Right.
Yes.
Enough for,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
these people will be like in the middle cocked
Right.
on their phone, walking a mile an hour.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just run through them.
Do you?
Oh God, yeah. Dude, I had this woman in Aldi's one time. She's standing there on the phone. I think I told this story. There's a lady trying to shelf 20-pound bags of potatoes or onions and
Right,
shit. And this
right.
woman's standing in front of her. This poor girl's got 2 bags in her hands just waiting for her, and she's blocking the whole aisle.
Straining the whole day.
So I just go, hey, excuse me, we're shopping, not talking on the phone. And she kind of looked and got out of the way, and the girl that was, stocking the shelves looked at me like, thank you. And I'm like, cool. Later on, this bitch has the balls to approach
Approach
me
you?
and tell me how rude I was, that she's shopping for someone who's physically disabled or whatever. And I was like, my daughter standing next to me, she's like, oh fuck, steps back because my wife just passed of cancer. And I'm like,
Okay.
listen here, bitch, how do you have the audacity to assume that I don't know what it's like to shop for somebody who's on their deathbed? Because I had a wife with cancer for 10 years and I did the same thing. And you know what's rude? You are, because I never stopped in the middle of the fucking aisle to find out what she wanted if they didn't have it. I had that shit figured out before I left the house. Have a nice day.
This guys, he's so angry.
Because like 5 other people stopped to listen and were like,
Right.
yep.
See, I
Fuck
don't.
you. Don't assume what other people are going through. Just be polite and get the fuck out of the way. That's all I'm saying.
See, I'm
Polite.
I'm very.
The more you know.
To me, I'm a passive aggressive person. What I do.
I'm an
is-
aggressive person.
Well, see, I try and do it where I teach them, because my dad always said violence doesn't. Is that I try this like this. If there's someone randomly doing what you're saying, is they're taking up the aisles or whatever, I will go into an aisle, which I've told him I've done. I'll go in an aisle
And look for the cutest girl and try to get her number, even though you'll never ask.
God damn, I will. But I'll stand in the aisle, and if I see them coming, I'll stand back like I'm looking at the shelves. You know what I mean? Doing this, and then they'll try and move, and I'll move forward like I'm going to grab it.
I'd run you over.
Yeah, you'd be missing an ankle.
Yeah.
I do
The
it
front
to
of the
people-
cart is a weapon.
Right. The first time I'm nice and I say, excuse me.
Okay, I get that. That's when I do it to the people that don't
Right.
say excuse me.
But if I see them still doing it, all bets are off. Like the bitch with the phone. Like I didn't even try because she was just oblivious to everything around her. I'm
See,
like,
that's-
hey.
That's the sad thing about fucking phones in stores. They'll be at the counter on their phone.
yeah.
They'll be in the middle of the aisle on their phone. They'll be driving through the parking lot on their phone, not paying attention to anything.
On the way over here, I saw a guy in his truck in the slow lane almost hit the guy in front of him because he was on his phone. I'm like,
Isn't there a new law now that you can't?
I think it's called Jeffrey's Law.
yes, you cannot have your phone in your hand while driving.
Yeah, I think
in
that's Ohio law.
yeah, no,
yeah.
I think it is.
Right,
Right?
but-
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It just passed in, I think, July, but they're like, we're going to give you 6 months to get used to the law. No, fucking pull people over so they get used to it now.
It's enacted now, though, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
what
they're
I'm
not enforcing it, just like
Oh.
every other law.
Now here's the thing: you can't. So it can't be in your hand. But what about if you're doing? Because like your vehicles are sync. You have a
Yeah,
sync
we
thing.
have sync. Yeah,
But I don't touch my phone.
you don't have to.
I don't have to because my stereo.
And
hit,
even if you do have to, you could do it quick and set it down and keep it on
Right.
speaker.
Yeah, but do you think that still
I
distracts
mean,
you?
I know that
Yes.
you get on your phone on your car, right?
No.
Right, Ed Money? Late night with
No.
edmoney.com.
That's right.
I'm
late
gonna-
night.
I can honestly say I never use my phone in the car. Never.
Really?
Really?
Wait,
I stream
wait, use
music.
it-
I do too, but I have a stereo system
Yeah.
that connects to my phone.
You use your phone. You
I
just
use-
don't physically touch your
right.
phone.
My
yeah.
phone is in my pocket or on
Yeah.
the thing up here, turned off, charging. But I use the stereo system as it's intended to. Whereas I can do this at a stoplight or something and still pay attention to what's going
See,
on.
I just use the voice. I say,
Or I
hey,
use
so
the
and
voice,
so,
exactly.
call so and so, and it'll call.
See, mine syncs-
Exactly.
The only thing my phone is synced with is my computer at home.
Well,
And your bill.
I don't think your vehicle has Bluetooth.
You know what? No,
It's got rust brown tooth.
it's got candy corn teeth.
It's still got an AM radio.
Yeah.
That's the dial
The game's on, Grandpa. Hold on.
with an 8-track.
It has the buttons where it hit and the slider goes all the way over to
Yeah.
right.
He's got the CD player connected to a tape deck connected to an 8-track player.
Dude, I remember having that. The cassette. There was a cassette thing that would go in the 8-track. You
Oh,
could
yeah.
put the cassette adapter in there.
And you'd have your Walkman stuck between the seats, and you'd hit a bump, and it'd be like 6 songs later.
Now, here's a weird thing. My truck has a button for the phone where you can. It just has a button for phone, but I don't know if the radio does it have to be.
Can't you plug your phone into it via cord?
No.
Well, most phones don't even have an auxiliary anymore. They took that away, which sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, the new phones don't have an auxiliary?
That's why I have the ghetto phone because it is everything. Mine has probably.
See, because mine's got the little fire plug.
Yeah,
or whatever
you can
it's
get the
called.
little ports
Lightning
that
link,
adapt
yeah.
it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, mine has
Still.
actually a hand crank charger.
I think Ed's isn't even a phone; it's a flashlight. He just painted it to look like a phone to be cool.
It's one of those preschool phones. The little
He hits the send and candy pops out the bottom. Beep boop boop beep.
It's a
Hez.
teething toy that he's like pretends like he's calling people.
Why does Ed's ringtone twinkle twinkle?
Oh God!
What's next on the list?
I wanted. Chucky and I were talking, dude. Listen, the supernatural stuff that happened.
Super-
Oh
recently,
yeah.
That this has happened. First of all, and this is recent. It seems like. Have you now? It's different at his house. It's we
My
got
house is
haunted
haunted
too.
anyhow.
Oh, yeah.
You guys both have haunted houses. I think mine is recent. Like the ghost knew that it's at vacancy.
They all knew. They're like, oh, he's got a bunch of good treasures in the basement. Probably all this shit you get from Goodwill's haunted.
It's right. What do they call?
They're all haunted items.
I was gonna say, have you ever seen the haunted museums, like the Ghostbusters or whatever, go in and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty bad. You should probably get
This
rid
is
of it."
Ed's whole basement.
And since nobody else wants it, they just take it to that one place.
Goodwill.
Here it is.
right.
This is it. This is Ed's
like
haunted
a
basement.
good example right behind me. If you're looking at the video on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, that they're right behind. First of all, this calendar, this Chinese calendar that I got, it's from 2022 or 23.
Yeah, so it's
22.
over a year old.
Yeah, I get this. I went to an Asian place. They gave me that, and it was probably cursed. And they said,
Probably.
give it to the guy.
They cursed it on the way out.
and
Here,
then-
give it to
Yeah.
him.
Thanks for the tip. Take this calendar.
This one right
It's
behind.
from La Plaza in Amherst, Ohio.
It is.
I highly recommend it. I took my dad there
Oh, yeah.
yesterday for the first time.
Look at it.
The food is amazing.
I might stop and get some for the road.
It's got the giant guy.
can't go
on it.
wrong,
Is
dude.
that a what are they? Not a bandolero. What are they? What are
It's
they,
a dude on a horse.
No,
we
what-
call them cowboys.
No, what are they? Caballeros? Whatever.
Something like that. I'm trying to remember now. My brain's like dope.
I think it's a three caballeros, which is the cowboys. That's
It's caballeros.
the Mexican cowboy on there, and I didn't even. You know what? I've never looked at it since you gave it to me
As opposed to Los Gringos.
Why?
to see if it's got an actual count. Oh, the calendar says December.
Yeah,
No, it
2023.
says Diciembre.
Yeah, but it starts.
Feliz Navidad.
Oh, it starts
now.
in
It's
December.
a current calendar. Yeah.
Okay, I never looked at
Because
it
December 2023 would have been
next
tomorrow.
month.
Or
See.
Right.
yeah.
Right. Dude, time has gone crazy. We'll go back to the supernatural, but time has gone crazy.
Wait,
hasn't
we
it?
can't stay with the supernatural.
Oh, we can't. Okay, sorry. We'll go back to the supernatural.
Just remember, Ed, the later in life you get, it's like a roll of toilet paper.
It's
the
a death
closer
march.
you are to the end, the faster it goes.
And there ain't no stopping it.
That's right. So
It's like remember the old ride at Cedar Point, the rotor, where you're clinging on the wall, trying not to slide down into the abyss.
But if you start to slide, it's over.
there ain't no stopping it.
I never
it.
got you.
All those motherfuckers could like turn upside down and this and that. I'm like, am I just that dense that I fall to the bottom?
I was always the one that had to push myself off the floor as it came back
As it
up.
came back up,
So you were down here, you're like balls height. with
to everybody else,
You're like,
your shirt's up, your fucking
right.
our 70s running shorts, we got balls popping out. They're just flat. They're stuck to the side too.
Sound like clackers.
Dude, you love that ride. I always got sick as it. My brother would throw up. Tony would throw up, and it'd go. It would go.
When I was a senior in high school, Geauga Lake had what they called a senior night, where the seniors got in the park at 10 at night and stayed until 7 in the morning.
What?
And I watched a kid. When you're on the rotor, good to get on the rotor, you're looking down in the rotor watching everybody spin around.
Wait a minute,
You're on a platform.
Okay, yeah.
So
then you come down and get in.
Then you come down and get in. Well, when we're waiting for our turn, I watched a guy throw up.
Oh.
And that shit comes out in the middle like a brain for a split second, then gives everybody racing stripes. Nobody got off that ride without vomit on them.
Yeah.
And we did not get on that ride.
You're like, so hard pass.
Yep, we're like, we're cool.
They're just
Yeah, any ride that spins,
It was like
I
spin
can
art.
I didn't understand why people like that. Did you like that kind of ride or no?
I like that. Yeah,
I like
can't-
the ride, but since I always fell, I wouldn't get on it anymore. I'm like,
What do you
there's
mean
no
button.
fell? You're being centrifugal
All right.
force
It doesn't matter. I slid down.
into the gap.
When I was a senior in high school, I weighed 135 pounds and I still slid down.
Exactly. I weighed 135 also. It was 135 pounds, 5'9", 8% body fat, nothing stuck to the wall.
No.
Like the guy next to you that was
except my
400
underwear.
pounds that spread out
Yeah.
to 6 feet. Oh, he clung
He looks like
a
when a
bitch.
toad
Right.
like flattens out in the grass so you don't see him.
Right, that guy could have rolled around on the wall and just stuck
Yeah.
to everything. But me, I'm like trying to get the most space possible.
I always thought people that went on that ride. There was another one. Was it called Avalanche Run or something? It went in a circle.
Oh,
yeah.
the Matterhorn.
Matterhorn, yeah.
In a circle. Is it
Yeah,
Matterhorn?
but it was like up a hill, down a hill, up a hill, down a hill.
Yes.
And the there'd be two people in a cart, and the guy on the outside would get smashed.
I never understood
like-
people that like that kind of ride.
It was fun.
Yeah.
that
I can't do spinny rides anymore, but it was fun.
Dude, I loved going, and I would actually go and sit and watch. And
Of course you would, because you were afraid of the line or the rides.
didn't like the line either, because I figured I was
But if you got stuck next to a hot chicken line, you could have got
goddamn
some
right.
digits.
That's right.
How'd that work out for you?
Pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to the supernatural. But here's the thing: is that those rides, I would go to the swings. You know when they had the swings that would
Oh,
go
the
around,
swings.
and I would.
Yeah, that was pretty deathifying.
No, do you know why I loved it? Is people always lost shit while they were on it.
You
Always.
just stand below and you're like,
I literally just watched a video
Yes.
of a guy with a prosthetic leg on the swings and his leg flew
oh
off.
my God.
Literally
That's
like
hilarious.
3
That
or
would-
4 days ago, I
That
just
would
saw
be
that.
Ed's luck. He's like catching Wallet's fucking foot right in the
He got
face.
kicked in the face by a guy still on the ride.
Dude, there was someone that did that they
Oh.
lost a wallet or something,
Oh, yeah.
and they got decapitated. Do
Oh
you
no,
know?
that poor kid dropped his ball cap.
Is that what
And
it
he
was?
jumped the fence just as the roller coaster was coming down. And it was one where the people's feet dangle. And
Yes.
they
It
Kicked his head
kicked-
off.
kicked
That's
his
it.
head
Broke
off.
that in leg too.
kicked his head off.
But
So,
go ahead.
That's Darwinism.
Right. It's
Plain and
Darwin-
fucking simple.
But
We
I
need to
like-
bring that back.
I
Oh,
didn't-
what's happening? Just look around.
Oh yeah.
the rides that I really like. This is crazy. Is that first of all, I hated
He
the
liked the carousel,
no.
the hot pretzel ride, the log ride, the paddle wheel boat, quite possibly the Dodgems and those old turnpikey cars.
Wait a minute. First of all,
Am I the only one that gets that here?
I got it. That I did like the
Kennywood.
I liked it and hated it at the same time. The Dodgems, you'd always see people like break their necks.
Oh, I was that guy. I would like
Oh, yeah.
scoot in my seat so it would lunge the car. Fuck you!
Yeah.
Remember when I was 3 and I couldn't drive this thing? I remember you, mister. I remember you.
There was always that one guy that would come from all the way because you'd get boxed in for some
Oh,
reason.
and he would come right at you.
You'd see him coming like he turned his
And you're
head
turning the wheel so it would put it in reverse.
He's the guy that figured out how to avoid the restrictor plate. He's going 65, just
got-
zipping around like this, just
He got
back and forth.
He put a Hemi on.
You
it for
see
some
him right
reason.
before the ride starts fumbling with a paper clip and some aluminum foil. I got this, you son of a bitch.
That I like.
Smoke's coming out of his tires.
Right, and it always had that giant electrical
The
thing
electrical
just you could
thing, right.
see zapping
Yeah.
the ceiling. But I like the ride I liked at Cedar Point was the mine ride. I liked that. That was a wooden roller coaster.
With the steel track, though.
With the fake hills.
What do you mean the fake hills?
It was,
Because you went up and went,
yeah, mine ride was weak.
wasn't real hill.
Mine ride would snap your neck.
Oh yeah,
But I liked it because there was a spot where it would.
It went. So did the
Yes.
Gemini.
yeah.
See the
So did
Ge-
the Raptor.
the Gemini.
So did the
the
Maverick.
corkscrew.
No, wait. No, the Gemini, which
Did it
is,
at the end.
which is the one that you always the back car always came
Blue
off.
Streak.
Blue
Blue streak?
Blue Streak.
That's,
I love.
that's the one. If you were sitting next to someone bigger than you, you held on for dear life because you
Yeah.
were coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it was the one that just had the bar, and sometimes it closed.
Right.
Well, now
This is it.
they have.
Oh, they put seatbelts and shit
and
in
a
it. yeah.
divider, and
Yeah.
the divider is made for people that weigh 120 or less. Because I literally I go to sit in, and I'm like, I'm not all the way down, but let's do this.
Yeah,
See, like he said, I hate it because I was tiny a kid. You know, we would go. I was only 5'5", so the bar wouldn't come down,
Yep.
and you would hang out. In the meantime, you'd be rattling around.
That's half the fun of
It
that
was-
ride, though.
those are the best forearm workout because you're just
Yep.
curling that bar the whole time, and it's like, oh shit.
And I never liked that sensation when you went. It was this where
You didn't like the G's?
The zero.
negative.
the where you kind of feel like you're floating.
I love
the best
that
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked.
Absolutely.
Like when you're going over the hill on the Millennium, that's
Yeah.
just a free
Oh
fall.
god, yeah.
That's amazing.
I like the G-force where you felt like you were fighting. You know, when it was spinning you.
Yeah.
You've never ridden the Maverick, then, have you?
Yeah, no.
What is the Maverick one?
It's all the way in the back, and the highest hill is only like 120 feet, but it shoots you up it.
the one. No, I haven't run that every
Bitch.
time. Here's the thing. No,
Isn't that the Top Thrill Dragster?
No, this is
Maybe that's
same
what I'm thinking
principle.
of.
Top Thrill Dragster, by the way, is gone.
Yeah, they took it out because it had too many
they,
issues.
but they have a new one, same hill, blah blah blah.
Right.
But the Maverick was in the back, and it was the same principle as the Top Thrill Dragster. Where
That's the one that they built on top of the old wooden one,
no, that is the Mean Streak.
Mean Streak.
This one is over by Frontier Town, and it's just a really fun low to the ground hyper coaster.
All right, cool. I'm
It's
in.
fast as fuck, but it shoots you up
Yeah.
the hill. But the hill's not high at all. It's like as high as the Blue Streak Hill. But you're going so fast up the hill, and then it's like a teardrop shape.
Right.
So it goes in on
Oh, that's
itself.
the one that does the inverted fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the one that I would always wanted to ride is the one that used magnetics.
That's the Top Thrill Dragster. They took it out because too many people were getting
yes.
too many
well,
people were getting metal in their
stuck.
eyes.
Well,
Metal?
no, some lady almost died. The whole brake thing came off and hit her in the head.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, because
Wait a
of
minute.
the mag brakes, they're basically car brakes.
Not
They
anymore.
were, yeah, the pieces were
Shearing
shaved,
off.
shearing off. My daughter's friend got a piece of metal in her eye.
Are
on
you
it. Yeah.
kidding?
Yeah, the last time it ran, a lady from Michigan got hit in the head with a steel plate from the brakes. It fucked her up.
Did she get like tons of money and free,
I don't know. They
free
never
pass?
said.
Right,
It was
I'm betting
never,
yes.
It was never like put in the paper
Yeah.
how much she got. But they completely redid the Top Fuel Dragster, and it'll be open next year, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
See, my brother he would always get me to go. One of my brothers would let me. He always wanted to go, and I hated it because I was always afraid.
I'm surprised you don't go there because of all the hot chicks.
Right?
That is like your supermarket if you were able to talk to them.
Right? You should just stand in the
Because you know why? Because the moms take
Uh-huh.
their kid and let the kids run the park, and they sit on the benches.
yeah, stand in Frontier Town where all the water rides are.
I may have to do the water. See, that water smelled too.
I don't care.
Doesn't it smell like feet?
I'm not there for the water. I'm there for the hot moms.
Yeah, they drop their kids off. The kids run the park. These moms will sit on the benches and play
then
on their
they stand
phones.
on the thing and forget that it
Yeah, but
splashes them
wouldn't
and
it
they
seem-
come out soaking wet. It's
Wouldn't it
great.
seem creepy if I just walked up and go, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" You know,
No, but you can sit down and strike up a conversation. You don't got to be like, "Hi, I'm late night with EdMoney.com."
whip it out right in front of him and be like, "See anything you like, honey?" That's what.
Can I use your stylus? Oh,
There's something wrong with the tip. It's
Yeah.
not working.
I caught my stylus tip in the zipper.
a
you
little
must be
soft.
you must be using it a lot. It's got a red spot on it. That's normal, right?
It's a little worn.
It's a little.
Got a lot of miles on my hand.
It's got callus on one side.
Just one.
That's
That's
the side you rub with your thumb.
That's where the steel wool pad rubs.
Just like when he pees, you put it on the end and it's got two streams instead of one. It's like, why can't I draw one line?
I call this my snake bite.
Oh God! Let me do the paranormal. Back to
fuck,
paranormal.
yeah, let's go back to that.
That's all right. That because
Boo.
the funny pee. I got a pee story, but that I had this thing.
Paranormal, not peeing. Let's go.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing, dude. Recently, I don't know if the world, like they say that if you watch some of the stuff online,
There's a lot of crazy shit out there.
They're saying that the world is changing dimensions and trans. Yes, I'm sure he's right about it because he speaks 15 languages. But
No, there's all kinds of conspiracy theories out there. Whether
they're
it's
saying that the
happening or not,
world
who
is
knows?
phasing into.
They wouldn't
another
tell us if
dimension.
it was.
Right.
Well, I think what you're talking about is the magnetic polar shift, which happens
Something.
every 240 million years
Yeah,
or something.
something is- they're saying it's
they
happening.
think it started, but we don't know because we have no idea when it happened last. We can only guess.
But
And we won't be here when it finally gets to its
yeah,
peak.
so it doesn't matter. Yeah,
but recently, I'm
if
telling
it does, you won't know it
Right.
because it'll be.
Yep, instantaneous. The thing that I'm telling you, dude, recently the craziest thing that's been happening to me is it's not. See, normally I already have bad vision, and the reason I found out, I'll connect this dot real quick, is I had found out through Walmart of all places.
That's weird.
Not Sam's Club, which is Walmart. They're optic when I got my glasses through, which I got to get. You and I both
I
got to
gotta
get
get
new
my
ones.
new prescription.
That-
Actually, I'd like LASIK, but
That's scary.
it's not the scary
You
part.
had
It's the
LASIK.
price part.
It is it. Oh yeah, I think
I
it's
paid
scary.
$3,000 to get both mine done. I was farsighted to the point where I couldn't
Yeah,
see
but you wear
you.
glasses now.
They're just readers.
Oh okay.
I would love to have just readers.
And once my left eye finishes its adjustment back into shit, I will every year when I go to my eye doctor, I take the form. He says whether or not I'm at the point where I get my free tweak because I paid for life.
Right. Oh, wow. Good for
Nice.
you. Good
Yeah.
for you.
$3,000 for the rest of my life. Anytime one of my eyes shifts, I get it tweaked.
Nice.
It's got to be a certain point though. It's
Yeah,
not-
yeah. They're
I'm
not just gonna do
right.
it.
I'm still 20/20, so
Yeah.
they won't
Yeah.
do it. But
Right.
my left eye, my astigmatism's coming back. I've already had my right one done twice
Okay.
because within the first year, my astigmatism in that eye started coming back.
Oh, you're kidding.
So I went back for my yearly checkup. They're like, well, do it now. That way we don't have to recut the cornea.
Right.
Because it takes like a year and a half for it to fully heal. And
To
they
grow
just-
back.
They just pulled the flap open, did it again, and put it back.
That is
Yeah.
so gross and crazy.
But it's your eyes numb. You're on you got a Valium in you.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was going to be weird. The weird part was when they cut the flap, but they used a laser and you almost instantly go blind for a minute. So you don't even see it.
Yeah.
It's like you see the laser light up and then it's black. And you kind of feel a pressure like barely touching you.
And then it's done.
And then they pull it open. There's like just a little metal ring, and then they put you under the other laser, and they go watch the green light because you got to track. It's got to track your
Yeah.
eyeball so it does it right. Like you can't see anything at this point because it's just light in your fucking
Yeah.
eyes, and you're like, okay, I'll watch it. There's nothing there, but
Yeah.
you just hold still,
It's crazy.
and then they do the other one, and then they walk you out, and you're fine.
And then you wake up the next day and you're like,
Your eyes are swollen.
you look
Oh.
like those goldfish with the bubble eyes.
Actually, you're fine, except it feels like your face is on fire.
I'm
Just your
sure.
eyeballs. It's like
Yeah.
it feels hot. It's not
like you looked at the solar
sun too
eclipse
long.
with
Right.
binoculars.
Right. But the funniest part is when you walk in, on the door is the caution, lasers may cause eye damage.
Yeah. You're like, wait a minute here.
I'm like, yeah. But yeah, sorry.
But anyway,
So
that's,
anyhow,
there's all this
Supernatural.
stories.
This thing is. So I went there and they've told me that I have my eyes are dimpled.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a reason when just for the audience, a quick.
Is that caused by urine?
I do like fetish women. I do. They pee in my eye a little bit. No, like anything I have grown up and your body adapts.
Yeah.
Anything I stare at, anything has. Remember the old black and white TVs, and they call them ghost images, where
Yeah.
there'd be the
Yeah.
image, and there's a
Yeah.
slightly one
Yeah,
next
yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
My whole life, everything I stare at looks like that. And the guy told me it was this crazy guy in Sam's Club. That's which is Walmart. Optical. I said, dude, he says, have you ever had eye problems? I said, the only thing I've ever had that no one has ever told me is this is just the way I see. So he did put me up to this other machine, not the glaucoma one, which
Right.
I hate.
The one they go, now keep your eye open. You're like, you're blowing a burst of air in my eye. I
Yes,
can't.
all the flaps go like
Yeah.
this, and your water's like no tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
so I keep it up and I'm like, I can't. I can't do it.
they tape it open.
Yeah. Bring the Scotch tape. We used it all at Christmas.
Look, if you think that one's bad, if you can't do that one, they do one with a Q-tip.
Ah,
And they come in and they go,
that's crazy.
I could probably do that one over the burst of
it's
air.
weird. It's weird.
That's crazy. Well, he put me
Because
on
I
this.
have Q-tipped shit out of
Oh,
my
yeah.
eye.
That's crazy too. You just give me the heebie-jeebies,
No, if you
dude.
got
Oh, we
something
don't
in
even
your
talk
eye-
about that.
I work in a factory, dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like everything else.
Yeah,
But anyhow, supernatural.
So yeah, well, I
So you
wanna
see
explain
shit,
this.
we get it.
So yeah, so he said I got dimples, and what happens is light will refract in those dimples, and I'll see echo images, like that he kind of described. And I've grown up and I adapted to it, and that's fine. So I just thought recently, dude, I'm seeing like movement or stuff.
Just move out of the corner of your
Shadow
eye.
people
Something
Yep.
like
being hunted.
like a dude, like there's almost like you see,
Like you would see this.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
you'd see that out of the corner eye, and when you turn
Yeah.
quick enough, you actually see something. I don't know how to describe it other than something. Well, recently, and this is after my dad. Now my dad's been dead 2 years though, but right after my dad passed, I would say a month or two. And it's still to this day, I get it now and then. My dad would say in Hungarian, he would say "mutz," and "mutz" is like you say.
Eddie, we don't like you. On latenightwithedmoney.com.
That's so beautiful. The way you did. Look at him laughing at himself. He's still laughing. So because it was good. It was a good. I like that. It was
Keep
good.
going. Hey,
It's very smooth.
So my dad would say, he'd always. That was his term of endearment to my brother and I. He'd always call us mutz, say something. And I was laying in bed, and it's still to this day, I'll hear stuff down the hallway that I was laying in bed.
Like the dog pooping on the carpet.
And then the Roomba smeared around the floor.
Are you in my house and not telling me? Why don't you text? We'll have a beer. No,
Because I wanted to walk up and whisper in your ear, "What's?"
it was you. That's right. But I could hear like my dad calling me,
Yeah.
and it was at the weirdest. Like I was in fifth stroke. No,
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Wait, is that what you heard? Because we didn't even we started talking about this beforehand, but he didn't tell me that's what he said. Did he
Yeah.
say "Mutz"?
yeah, he would.
Right on.
I heard my dad say, mutz, and it was like. It was. I could hear as clear as we're talking, dude.
His voice.
My dad. Now, could it be a subconscious at this moment? I'm missing
It could be, but
my dad. But you said,
my mom passed away a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
On a Thursday, and fast forward 4 days to that Saturday or 3 days, whatever that is. Sometimes I'll sleep in the spare room when I don't feel like wearing my CPAP,
right,
because if I don't wear it, Becky can't sleep.
right.
So I'll sleep at
The cord tangles around her all the time.
No, she's just like, you're snoring. Anyhow, so I'll jump ship and go in the spare room because it's got a really good mattress in
Right,
there too.
right.
And so, like I said, she passed away on a Thursday. So it was Saturday, about, I don't know, it was early morning. And I swear to God, my mom's voice called my name and woke me up out of a deep sleep. But it was her healthy voice, not after she got sick voice.
Now, did
It
she,
was the weirdest.
Here's-
Like to the point where I woke up and I'm like, holy shit, I know I heard that. Not like,
you're half asleep.
yeah, no, this was like, oh shit.
right.
Yeah.
You hear? And now, here's a real question.
And it was,
Does she call you Charles or
no,
does
she called me Chucky.
Chucky?
Yeah, and that's what it was,
And you heard it.
like that. Like to the point where I'm like,
So my question is, did either of you feel their breath on your ear? Because when
No,
my wife did it to me,
no.
and it was the same. Now that you mention it, and I think about it, it was her, like when we got married
her
voice,
healthy
not
voice.
her
Yeah.
been through chemo and cancer,
Yeah.
like before she died, because she could barely talk
Before she passed.
and it was like just right in my ear. I felt the breath on my ear, and I just like,
Here's
What?
here's
Yeah,
the.
what do you
woke up,
want?
hey, listen,
What?
man. Listen.
That's right.
I finally fell asleep.
Did you take your clothes
if
off?
this,
Hey,
I'm like,
baby.
if this isn't the Dan Aykroyd scene in Ghostbusters, I'm not having it.
This better be a booty call.
That's another thing. Right. No, now this is nothing again. This isn't, hopefully you're not connecting dot to your, because it's not meant to be. But if that's true, okay, let's just say
That
all things equal,
that really did happen.
the spirit world's there.
To me, it did. So
Okay, me too. I've heard stuff, and I've seen. I know I've seen stuff too, dude. I'm telling you, I'm seeing stuff. And
dude, just come to my house for a couple hours. You're going to see all kinds
I want
of shit.
to. I want. In fact, after
Right.
this, I'm just going to follow him home.
well, I got to go do my grocery shopping, but just meet me there.
Right.
I'll Instacart for you. We'll let them show up while you show me around.
Let's just say, for all intensive purposes, it's real. Okay, and I'm not denying it.
Right.
That there's something else. If there's something just out of phase of us, like we're in this universe and just out of phase is the other universe that can see us and now interact enough, why don't they? I mean, is there like ghost sex, like real ghost, not just the stories and stuff like that? If it could happen, say a loved one, why wouldn't you say, hey?
So you're hoping that your dad can have ghost sex with you? Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this, Ed? Because I just got creeped out.
He's like, Jeff, can you send your wife over?
Jeff's over there. You son of a bitch.
That's right. No, I'm just wondering, could they?
I mean, I wouldn't argue. Let's do it.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. Is that? I mean, if that world exists, and why don't they steal shit? They're like, hey, look, I could see you use a few bucks and go to the bank and they'll rob it and bring it because they can't catch them.
They just trace everything back to your house. I swear I wasn't there. All the money packs got Apple AirTags on them. We traced it back to your rust bucket, Ed.
I think that, or it floats up in the air and it just keeps hitting the wall of the safe because it can't get out. I mean, really,
that would be my luck. That would totally be my luck.
A giant pallet of money just keeps even slamming against the wall because it's just like, son of a bitch, I thought you said you loved me. Yeah, I mean, dude, because here's the thing. I have told you around here, and we think, my mom and I say it, we think it's
yeah,
like
you've
my
had
dad,
crazy stuff happen too.
materialized. Shit has physically appeared, and you've said you've had stuff disappear.
We have stuff disappear and then
Keys.
reappear
yeah.
a month later in like someplace it would have never been.
Did you hear the story? Were you here when we talked about the story?
brush?
The
Yes.
dustpan?
The dog.
Yeah.
Oh, the dustpan too?
Oh,
No,
you didn't
I
hear
heard about the
dustpan?
brush. You guys, I was here for that
I'll do
show.
this. I'll make this a real quick one. We moved into our house built in 1890. The rooms are all small, but they're connected. Like you walk up the stairs to the kitchen, there's an archway, there's a dining room, there's an archway,
Right.
there's a living room.
Right.
So we were redoing all the hardwood floors, and we took everything out of the living room and moved it into the dining room.
Yes.
So we literally had a walkway, maybe this wide, between the living room
inches.
and the kitchen through the dining room. Okay. So we got the floor all sanded. We swept it all up. We were going to go get something to eat. And I'm like, hey, let's get it up in the dustpan. I'll throw it in the trash before we go. Couldn't find the dustpan anywhere. I'm like, fuck it. I'm hungry. Let's go get some beers and wings. So we went down to the corner bar, got some beers and wings, came back. The dustpan was sitting in that little 1.5 foot wide path. We would have had to step over it to get out of the house.
Wow.
Yeah. Because we walked in and I'm like, did you put that there? Because my one buddy's kind of a jokester. He's like,
Yeah.
fuck no, I didn't.
Dude, it's
So, yeah.
stuff materializes. So dude.
So a couple weeks ago when I was on a show, my daughter, I was sitting here, I got a text, and I didn't look at it until I got in the car on the way home. Before I left, I wasn't driving and texting, and it said, Dad, I was doing laundry. Our laundry's in the basement. She was like, I was doing laundry. The light shut off, and then we've got 2 barn doors, sliding doors. She goes, and then the barn door shut. I'll be in my room. I'm not doing any more down here for the night. Fuck it.
Right.
So I get home, come in, and she's in her bed, just didn't move since I got there. Like 2 days later, I was in the basement cleaning something or putting something away, and she was upstairs, and I hear the door open, and I turn around, and there's nobody there, and I'm like,
Oh, man.
oh, fuck. All right. So same exact thing to both of us within a few days.
Here's a crazy question then, and we got to find someone. If you're out there and you're a paranormal person, investigator, whatever, if you want to come on the show, we'd love to have you. I know Maria Poppins is
I'm already
She
here.
sent me a couple messages, and
It was her birthday today, by the way.
yes, and my sister
Mary Poppins? Does she come in on that?
Maria.
Oh.
And she said she wants, because she has new stories,
ghost
ghost
stories?
stories. And this is the question: if you say you set up a camera, and people will do that,
I have a night vision camera
okay, they set it up
that's
to
motion activated.
but does that give them? I know it's going to be the wrong thing. I'm going to use the wrong thing. I know that in the Bible it says we're not supposed to interact with the dead. All right.
Where?
But by doing this,
Is that a
does
thing?
this give them power to come into our dimension if it's
They're
real?
already there. If they're doing shit in your room, they're already there, brother.
All right, I'm just going to put this out there. I don't care what the Bible says because it doesn't guide my life. But
That's what
even,
it's supposed to do.
I mean, right, it's already there. Well,
Ed.
That's funny.
not getting into that because
Yeah, I was like, everybody believes different.
right,
I know, that's
I'm an
funny.
atheist.
Okay, that's okay.
So it
God
doesn't
bless you.
guide my
Okay,
life.
okay,
You
good
guide
for
whatever you want.
Okay,
I'm not
fair
saying
enough.
not to, but
He's got to guide that ghost wiener in his mouth.
joke. But my point is, like you just said, it's already there. Like okay, energy can't be created or destroyed.
Right.
Everybody is made of energy. Everything is made of energy.
Especially
Right.
my peen.
So
Powerful.
the real question is, does
really.
your personality, your soul, your spirit, whatever
yep,
you want
yep.
to call it,
Yep.
how does it transition? That's what we don't
I don't
know.
know.
That's what we don't
I
know.
don't know.
Right? So
It's gonna transition into like
not that kind of transition.
I wasn't saying that.
Never know.
That's gonna end up as like a kumquat.
Good play on words.
Well,
I like that.
mean, that's like reincarnation.
Yeah.
The
Hindi thing. Yeah.
Hindi, they believe you come back as animals.
Yes.
Or
Well, that's if your life didn't go well, you go backwards.
right. It depends on how it worked. Right. Yeah.
If
I
you
don't
left
know.
what?
If you had a good life, you go forward. If you had a bad life, you go backwards. And it's like an insect is the lowest. And I don't-
Oh.
Yes. in
that's an
other words,
example. I don't know what they are, but it's
Right.
Like they think coming back as a horse is like the best. I don't know why, but
Because horse
Right, yeah.
wieners.
There's some-
You're
yeah.
packing.
yeah.
Can you, have
Fucking
you
packing,
seen it?
Jeffrey.
They're huge, just like me.
Yeah. At latenightwithedmoney.com.
So if you come back as an elephant, you're a god.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you. This was he and I talked about this. You're a smoker, right? Or
I
or
used to be.
Are you?
I just vape now.
Are you-
to
okay.
not smoke just to get my nicotine?
Right on.
So you're trying to, because isn't A1? He's a social smoker.
Yeah, he's a social
Right.
smoker.
which I never understood because
I could have one now and then, but it's not like
Yeah, I was just never a smoker, period. It never appealed to me.
I smoked for 25 years and pack
yeah,
and a
I
half a
don't-
day.
Everybody in my family smoked but me.
Yeah.
Really,
Like everybody in my family smoked but me.
right. You know that's funny because everyone in my family, including my parents. You know, my mom just asked me the other day for
Get
a
her-
cigarette.
Why would you not? She's 90 years old.
I
Get
know,
her one.
I know.
Just don't let her fall asleep with it in her hand.
Right.
Right,
Roll
right.
her-
I'm
Yeah.
was
Roller
being
a
serious.
fatty too.
Yeah,
While
dude.
we're at it.
Well, I've now got my brother got her some gummies.
Like THC or CBD?
Other one, THC.
THC.
Oh,
so
nice.
real
Yeah,
one.
from out of state.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wipe drop, couch. You termed couch locked.
Couch lock, yeah.
Couch locked. She was up all night long just watching the same program, CSI over.
Literally the same episode.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was the same
Yeah.
one.
I wonder what happens next.
Well, the reason I was going to ask you, he and I have talked about it, and I'm going to use. There was a guy that we both know, Big Dan, and he was one of those weird. Have you ever watched people that smoke? I don't smoke. And there's different types of smokers. The way that they'll like. some people-
Grip the cigarette. There's like the European, the,
Yes.
the fucking over under.
Yes, the people that smoke like this, which
Yeah.
I do not
like
get.
the beatniks.
You only do that if you've got one of those really long cigarette
Cigarettes.
extenders.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
Big-
Then there's the ones that like keep it cupped in their hand.
That was how I smoked because
Was
I
it?
was usually hiding it.
what the hell?
Well, I started smoking when I was a teenager, so
Oh, right on.
My brother-in-law used to take Camel cigarettes before he died. Well, oddly enough, he
Oh, he didn't do it after he died, did he? He's still smoking,
That'd be awkward.
right?
That's good. That's fun.
Right? Tie it back in full circle.
No, he used to take Camel cigarettes. He'd tear off the filters and would just smoke like
Camel
that.
unfiltered?
Yeah, he
Because
would-
they sell them like
Right?
that.
Why don't you just buy them that way instead
Yeah.
of
He
shaking
did.
the filter
I
off?
don't know. He would tear off the filters and he'd smoke, and he had like a brown ring on his finger.
And he probably had it on his tooth,
Yeah.
too. You could tell the unfiltered people. They got that that
Yes, yeah. Well, I wanted to say because Big Dan used to smoke, and I saw one person. And you and I started talking about. I'm like, oh my god, this is a dude. And this is the thing when they smoked, and I'm going to do it the wrong way, but they use their whole hand.
Oh yeah, the face cup. The,
Yeah,
the face hugger from
face hugger from Alien.
They're like,
Yeah.
and you know what the worst is? Because those guys, their entire palm was just
Nicotine yellow.
nicotine and tar, whereas I had just most of us had just the tips of our
or the
fingers.
fingernails.
Right, because those are the
What
two
is-
fingers we used, or that I was these two because I cupped it.
Right.
But
Did
I
you
let the
smoke
smoke.
like this?
I let the
Let's-
smoke escape. I just used it to hide the
Actual cigarette.
actual cigarette,
Yeah.
so people wouldn't see it. You know,
Yeah, but you're walking around.
It doesn't matter. You're young. You think you're getting away with shit.
I used to smoke in the cafeteria
You
at
got
school.
away with shit.
Yeah, so
Do you know what's worse than smoking? First of all, the face hugger, dude. That's a great, good.
But it is.
Good.
They'll have the
right,
whole
good.
thing.
whole thing.
Or they got the dried out lip spit and it's dangling off their lip. And they're talking and it's like hoing, 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 hoing.
That's
hoing.
the worst.
The days when we could smoke in the bar and stuff, and there would be dudes that would be smoking with a cigarette next to you. They'd set it down, a brand new lit one, start talking, and then it
Pick up another one,
go
right.
down to here, and then
The whole
they'd-
thing would be an ash.
And then they'd light another one and set it
Yeah.
down. I thought, dude, you must smoke like 8 packs a day because
Yeah.
4 of them are literally ones that just
Right.
burn out from
Yeah.
conversation. And I never got that with the like some magic property where they would have that super long ash. They're still doing
Yeah. And it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
But when
Right.
it finally does, it's on like your piece of birthday cake.
Right.
But you don't give a shit because you're 8 and you want cake.
Just lick it off. You're like, fine.
Yep.
Dude, that's
Ashy cake.
When we were in the when we were growing up going to the bars, the dumbest people would have birthday parties in the bar.
Oh yeah.
Dumbest thing
Hey.
ever, dude.
I like
I
birthday
might do
parties at
that
the bar.
again.
You did? It was the dumbest thing. They'd have a little group in a corner. And Happy birthday to
What's wrong with that?
Oh, shut
Right?
They're buying drinks,
All right.
brother.
That's right.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear this shit where they're over there singing and they're acting
Wow,
like.
Mr. Negative.
Well, here's the thing.
No
They
wonder
didn't-
all that negative energy is around you.
They didn't invite you anyway.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I thought, first of all, when you drink, you're not. This is why you're not a shot guy. But
I will do some, but
I
not.
didn't think you did.
I'll do like those specialty shots. You know what I
No,
mean?
what do you mean? Like a
uh,
Washington apple or
No,
something?
I will not do anything with apple.
Oof.
There's a bad story behind that, and it involves me throwing up everywhere. For like days.
You're
I'm pretty
kidding.
sure I was the color of a green apple.
What was it? One of those, everybody kept buying a shot and it's the same
They were-
goddamn
They were
shot.
the Washington apple shots, and they're made with Crown.
Crown apple, actually.
Before Crown Apple. This is the precursor. This was like Crown and Apple Pucker or something.
Yeah.
And we were drinking those, and they taste delicious. I ain't gonna lie to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Unfortunate-
whiskey straight.
Unfortunately, coming back up, it is nothing delicious about it. It's like shitty tang.
Right, that bile taste.
Yes, and foam and
Yeah.
Washington apple, and it doesn't stop. Even to a point where your stomach's going, "Huh, huh, huh." You know that it's doing it by itself.
Did you throw up so much that you're like you could be having a conversation? There's nothing.
Oh yeah, it's
left,
still
dude.
coming out. And then every once in a while, like every 10th dry heave, there'd be some foam, some foaming action.
Just enough to suffocate you when you try to inhale
Yeah.
again. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to
Hate
me with Purple Mad Dog.
Oh,
I made
God.
purple snow everywhere.
Does that
Yeah.
exist? I didn't know that even existed.
Oh.
It's still out.
Yeah.
Mad Dog's got like 50 flavors now.
What?
And that makes you number one crazy. And if you ever get sick on it, you'll never smell it again.
Is it
That's true.
Since you had the Washington apples, is it one of those? And for me, it was
I can't
tequila.
even smell those.
Yes, to me it's tequila. Like when people say, "Hey, let me buy you a shot of tequila," dude, I can almost feel that weird in the back of your throat when you
Where that bite right behind where your jaw's at hinging at.
Yeah.
you're doing them.
Yep.
Like-
Salivating. And then
Right,
you're doing those
yes.
shots and you're in the bar like this. You're like, please God, not here. Oh God, don't let me throw up in front of my friends.
get
And
that,
you're spitting. Yeah, I don't know why you're spitting.
you get that just the little bit that comes up, and you're like,
Yes,
try to
dude.
choke it back down and run
I've
to the
swallowed
bathroom.
vomit before and made it
yeah.
ran.
You're like,
He did this.
I swallowed a mouthful of vomit and ran to the bathroom.
well, that's where
But
it just came from. What's
you
the difference?
only get like
15
3
seconds,
seconds
yeah.
at the most. And it's you're like, oh God. Ah! Here it comes.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I've been there as well. You're like,
And you're trying to be cool in front of your dudes. Your eyes are all watering, like you're about to cry. You're,
all of a sudden you've got X-ray vision. It's like, how to put it? Quicksilver and X-Men. You're like, you see everything so super slow.
and you're running
You're
your
like,
ass off.
I need to go here, like little
Yep.
waypoints in the bar.
But-
You're like, bing, bing, bing.
And then you have to find your safe spot. It's like, okay, there's a trash can there,
Right.
but if you make it past there, there's the bathroom door right there.
Right. Do you know what starts it? Is the burping. First
The
you start,
burping.
you
Oh,
start-
yeah.
You're like, and then that little chunk tags along.
And then you
you're
just
like,
start that spitting, and you're, please God, not for my friends.
This is the root. This is the root.
And then it's like,
a little bit of this.
no, and then it's like, somebody turn up the heat in here. It's really hot, you guys. You guys hot? No?
It's
I gotta go outside for some
it's
fresh air.
20 below. Yes, you go
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, that's I need some fresh air. No, you gotta stand here. So I just want to go. I want to be by myself. Who owns the red Toyota? The paint might peel off on the front quarter panel.
Dude, that's funny. You said when I had my white Escort that I had Don Carlozzi, a guy.
Love that guy.
We went to school with
I
this
want
guy.
to get a hold of him. Me and him had so much fun.
Oh, dude, we went out drinking. It was Don Carlozzi. I had Tony McClellan. Remember?
Yeah, Tony
and
and,
Steve Smith.
Steve, yeah.
They were in the vehicle. We were out driving. We were drinking, doing
Yeah.
next to- and he got sick, but he was and that didn't have it had the 2 doors, and you had to push the seat forward.
Oh.
So he was like, I'm driving.
He was coming through the back seat, through the side window.
He was, and it went all. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"You're gonna clean." It went all.
Dude,
down
if you're
the-
throwing up, you're like, you don't give a shit.
right,
You're
dude.
trying to expel anything out of your body.
I can. Can you imagine driving behind and they say,
Oh, do you want a story about that?
Yeah.
Let me revisit this one. For all those people that had to hear this, you're going to hear it again. Becky,
For all the new listeners, so thank
me
you.
and
for
Becky
listening.
were at a after
Like, share,
party
subscribe.
at there used to be a club in the flats called Metropolis,
Mm-hmm.
and we were at an after party there, and it was about 4 a.m, and we're going west on Route 290, whatever it is, and there's 4 lanes where we were at. We were still in Cleveland. There were 4 lanes. We're going, Route 2 west. 2 cars on the road. There's us, and their front bumper was where our rear wheel was in the lane next to us.
Oh God.
Ooh.
2 cars. And I look at Becky, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna throw up because she was driving. So I roll down the passenger window,
Like
and
you crank it.
I had to crank it. It was a crank window, and I'm like hanging out the window. I'm like screaming at them, like get out of the way, get out of the way, and I'm waving at them, and they're like beeping their horn, beep 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 beep. I'm get out of the way, and I unleashed. I was drinking. Now, mind you, I was drinking firewater, Heineken, and mudslides.
Oh God.
And all over their car. All of a sudden, they slam on the brakes. They're swerving. Windshield wipers come on. They're fucking beeping. I'm like, I told you.
So they didn't ride your ass anymore, did they?
No, they
Yeah.
did not.
Windshield wipers.
Oh, yeah, I unleashed on their fucking car. And it didn't just like come out and go down the side. It was out. It was strong.
Can you imagine you driving and it was like you hit a jellyfish? You know?
Oh,
just-
they hit, dude, and they had to stink so fucking
Yeah.
bad.
Oh God.
Yeah,
You're kidding.
it was bad. I warned them though.
Right.
Right? You
That's
tried.
the-
You
that's the
tried.
thing,
They shouldn't
dude.
have been there in the first place.
And you know what though? Like I said, I'm like, get out of the way, and they're like, beep 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 beep, hey party, and I'm like, no, ah. And there it was.
And he's a loud thrower upper.
Oh,
too.
I am like
Calling dinosaurs.
to the point where I laugh at myself because it's so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you know.
All right, now have you ever had a incident like that? You like that?
Calling dinosaurs, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that one.
No, have you ever had an incident like that?
Oh God, yes. My wife. So
What's
I
the
had-
one liquor that you can't? That,
It used to be vodka, but I got over that. I drank a handle of vodka one night.
Oh God,
what's a handle?
Oh,
The big one.
with the handle.
Yeah,
Of
with the
vodka?
handle of vodka.
Ooh.
I was 19.
Oh God!
You live to tell about it. It's a boom.
Yeah, barely. I mean, it was shit alcohol. It was shit.
was
So it wasn't
gas
like it
station
wasn't
alcohol.
90 proof. That's for
it
sure.
was gas station
But
alcohol.
I sure as hell had alcohol poisoning for like 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't walk for 3 days. The day after I drank it, my buddy got me home because we stayed at my friend's house, and my stepdad got pizza just to fuck with me. And I'm like,
Oh,
I couldn't
God.
even smell it. I was like,
The greasy.
dude.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I can't.
Did
He's
you-
like, have some pizza. I'm like, no.
did they lay you down and you didn't move for like a
Oh.
day?
I was in a broken recliner, so I just sat down in it, and I pulled the handle, and it went to the floor, and I laid there for about 6 hours until I had to throw up again.
You
And then I
gotta
managed to get out of the chair, roll into the bathroom, and fell asleep on the floor.
Isn't that the
Oh,
worst when you
yeah.
got to throw up and then you try you can barely maneuver, but you try and you can focus.
Oh,
I know I
yeah.
got to get to the I could see you throwing up in your kitchen sink.
I've done that.
I made that.
My wife got mad
I
at me.
completely-
Becky got mad at me because I threw up in the kitchen sink. I'm like, it's a garbage disposal. That's what it's for.
Yep.
Because you're reasoning. You're like, listen.
That is so disgusting.
And you know what? It
That's
wasn't that I was
disgusting.
so fucked up. I wasn't really all that drunk. It was the Jägermeister, which is not on my list anymore. Also, just sat there. And when it wanted to come out, I wasn't fighting it. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
I walked in the side door. I'm like, I got it.
Yep.
And away it went. No fuss,
Done.
no muss.
Did you? Were there dishes in there?
No, we no.
They don't just leave them sit, Ed. Come on. What are they, children?
We could.
What are we, Ed?
He could have just.
At latenightwithedmoney.com. But
I could just see you doing it. Dude.
I did. I've thrown up in a lot of places.
God damn! How many liquors have you crossed off your
Everything but pretty much rum.
list? Is that why you stick only with Captain Morgan?
Yeah, because and you know what? And he's even made me walk the plank before, but not like these other boozes. You know what I mean?
it just affected you so
Yeah.
bad.
There's like I said, there's some specialty shots I'll drink. You know, where that's like a small dose of vodka or a tequila, whatever. But I won't do certain things. Like I won't even tempt it. You know,
Just because of the tequila. That's the one thing that.
root beer barrel schnapps.
Ooh.
Oh god,
I
remember
threw
that.
up every hour on the hour. I was still living at home, and my mom was like, "Your room stunk so fucking bad."
Dude, when it was
Because
just
that's when
oozing out of
we were
you?
allowed to drink at 18 back in the day.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I had a bottle of root beer barrel schnapps. I thought I was king shit at Turd Town. It was the summer that we graduated high school.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, I went out with Rangus and
Oh,
Byron
God.
and Glenn, and I'm like, I want that, and it was delicious. I will never even smell that stuff again.
I think the worst tequila was my main thing. Now at weddings, they always served at the bridal dance. You do do they even do bridal dances? Were the dollar dance anymore? Or no,
I haven't been to like a wedding like that in a minute.
But
Yeah.
we did it because it helped gave them money.
Gave 'em money, yeah,
Gave
the
'em
dollar
money.
dance, yeah.
the dollar dance. And at the dollar dance, they always had two things. For the girls, they had
Shots.
peach schnapps for the girls, and for the men
There's another thing.
was either Rumplemints or the peppermint schnapps.
Yeah.
I could do those. The Rumplemans I could do.
Which is the peppermint schnapps.
Yeah, I'm talking root beer barrel schnapps I can't do.
Yeah, they didn't.
yeah.
They didn't do that. But in mine was, I kept getting in line, and after so many,
Why? Because you wanted to hit on the bride? She couldn't say no to your dance?
you're gonna dance with me. I put a $5 in there.
I put a 5 spot in that motherfucker.
He's trying to get the garter before everyone else.
Yeah.
His hands up there like, I got it.
never did that. I didn't like weddings are so tough. They say never take a girl if you're dating
To a wedding? No.
to a
No.
wedding
No.
or a funeral. No, or not a baby thing. A
baby shower?
Yes, they
Guys
say,
don't go to baby showers anymore.
They
they
do
said-
now.
Do they really?
Yeah.
see
They have diaper parties or they're together or
see the stuff that they're ruining in our
That's
world.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yes, it is dumb.
Because that's like a guy's free day out. It's usually on a Sunday, and he could be doing something.
Golfing.
Yes, but they say that's what the girls starts doing. But weddings, dude, we used to go to so many weddings, and it was great.
Remember when all our friends, like in one summer, got married?
I was,
Yeah. I
yeah,
say,
you're one
I
of them.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it anymore. You know, no more. I'm like,
I
there's,
I don't think
I don't have any friends that are getting
Yeah, but
married.
now your friends' kids start getting married. I
Yes.
have a wedding.
But I don't have to go to them.
Yeah, I got to go to this one. I got to go to one.
Close one,
Right?
Now,
Like,
do you
well,
think-
honestly, I don't have any friends with kids.
Really?
A couple, but not too many. I mean,
the wedding I'm talking about, I'll gladly go to. A super cool kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever? Now this is he's married. We God bless him. He's been 27.
30.
are you going to ask me
years.
if I'd ever get married again? Not a
exact-
chance.
That's what I was
But
going to
because
ask
you did it once.
Right. Right. I did it once. That's all I needed.
You can,
I don't
you
need
can
to do
date,
it again.
you can have a companion, you can
Right.
have just a friends with benefits, but you don't got to get married again.
Although, this is funny because
Unless she was a millionaire and totally smoking hot.
well, this is funny because my buddy Justin and I, we're both like, fuck it, we're bachelors forever. But one of us we have to get married so we can have one of the other's insurance. But that's it. I draw the line.
Right.
Like it's just insurance and a
Is that
blowjob.
what
But
you do when you're dating, it's a
To
prerequisite.
make it official, you got to consummate the marriage.
no, but it's been like we've been friends since high school, and it's been a running joke the whole
Right.
time. Everybody's like, "Oh, when are you guys getting married?" And then we're like, "Well, one of us is going to need insurance."
Isn't one of the things you just said isn't, and this is I'm going to get not in the raunch area,
No.
but for a guy, this is a total guy thing. If you're a woman out there, I know there's women that listen. Isn't it like almost magical? The most perfect thing ever is a blowjob, like you said that.
I wouldn't know. I haven't had one in so long. I can't even remember.
Outside of the wet dry back of the car wash. Because those things got some suction. And if you got change left over, you could spray that pina colada spray in your underwear.
right.
You know,
One guy hasn't looked at a vacuum hose and went,
not one.
Not one. But then you realize the suction, and you're like, I mean, if I could have fitted it in the end of the hose, maybe.
What was that? I'm telling
We're
you.
all over here like,
If I could fit it. Took me a second. I had to chase someone down. But he's got the shop wet dry bags. Yeah, big goes, dude.
well, you need a wet dry vac.
And he's still.
I was talking about the one at the car wash.
Yeah, that's a wet dry vac. But do you ever see how dirty the end is? Just like most chicks nowadays. Just kidding, ladies.
Wow.
You know you're going to the wrong car wash when the shop vac has like lipstick.
It still has a fleshlight in his.
The pocket pussy is still attached. You turn it on, it goes.
I think it stutters.
Oh, that's good. Well, I know we're over.
Are we already?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
man.
we're actually way over.
Yeah.
So, audience members, I thank you for, and we're going to be leaving you with a Daniel Levy. It's a song, "Clown Around." I actually like it. It reminds me of not Bruno Mars, but someone along that line of Bruno Mars. Off the top of my head, it's a good poppy song. So check that out, audience members. You've been listening to Late Night with Ed Money here on the website, which is latenightwithedmoney.com. Having real people, real conversations about real life. I know.
You all right there, Strokey?
I'm trying to get my mind to lock in.
He's still thinking about the
yes.
the pocket pussy and the wet dry bag. I think they're onto something. Now all I need is some bacon grease.
Crisco. Thank God I saved that bacon grease that I just fried up. That
Got a little grit. It smells delicious.
It's got
Only downfall is when you're done, you're trying to eat it off yourself.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Smells good. Give me some.
You always listen to myself, Ed Money. Right over here is CPAP Chuck.
We'll see ya.
The last one. We had very little sound effects this show too.
Yeah, I know. It was
That's all
a
right.
good show.
That's all right. And his here, and he's a permanent guest. Would you say Jeffrey Neutron?
Jeffrey Neutron.
Jeffrey Neutron.
You need to write that shit down.
I'm writing it down.
Write it down.
Jeffrey Neutron. I'll write it down in a minute. But Jeffrey Neutron. Audience members, check out all the things you do. Check out the links. Anything we've ever mentioned, go visit them. Tell them you heard about them on the show. Mom, is it you?
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, it's Wayne and Byron. They're not here. Jerks. Hang up on them.
Have to hang up on them. Always remember that you are somebody, and don't be materialistic because it gets you nowhere. And after that, we are out of here.
Girl, disco, some fun like one of a kind, girl. Till morning's here. When opinions start to guide us, we won't let them define us. No, we'll play it by ear. And I know that you're shy, but we can clown around tonight. You know the circus leaves town when it's light, and there's a village clown. Nobody's stopping. That's good, it's just you and me. And making me laugh with your moves. Ain't no stopping our groove. That's good, it's just you and me. And we can clown around. Yeah, and we can clown around. And it's just you and me. Now it's your turn to clown around. And take a train to Freaky Town. And we could just clown around like this, you know. We could just clown around a bit. And dance a village clown moves. Nobody's stopping our groove. Ooh, that's good. It's just you and me. And making me laugh with your moves. Ain't no stopping our groove. Ooh, that's good.
You've been listening to Late Night with Ed Money, brought to you by 3 Bowls of Crunch Production. Late Night with Ed Money is a copyrighted show, and any unauthorized reproduction for sale is strictly prohibited without written and/or verbal consent from Ed Money. Otherwise, we'll find out where you live and beat the shit out of you. Thank you for listening.